Okay, thank you very much. So Luigi, over to you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Emma, from my side, and congratulations for your 25th celebration ceremony. I think that my general said about the Lebanon, where I was in the last October, and probably he will send me in the next year, in January, February, and we have the way for meet you in Lebanon to cooperate. Now I'm going to introduce, if necessary, my command and our task force Blends of Culture. You know, Carabinieri PC was established in 1969. It was and it is the first police department in the world exclusively dedicated to the protection of cultural heritage. It means that we don't care about drugs, we don't care about weapons or whatever. We care about the cultural heritage protection. This is our structure on the ground. We have 70 units on the ground from the north to the south, from Udine to Sicily. And as well, we have in Rome the investigation department with its 3 specialized sections: archaeology, antiquities, and forgery and contemporary art. More or less right now, we are 300 of police officers. And the important that we are part of the Italian Ministry of Culture. This is important because we are Carabinieri. We are not art expert or archaeologist or restaurator. And so we need to cooperate with the specialists. And the Ministry of Culture has the specialists that we need. And we are in the frame of the Ministry of Culture, we can have every kind of cooperation that we need. Our link in the international organization, we have an officer in UNESCO. We have my friend that you hear before, Corrado Catesi, in Interpol. Now he is the director of Art of Work for Interpol, but in the soul he is a Carabinieri PC officer. Now we have a colleague in Baghdad, where I was, inside the European Union mission in Iraq. As well, we have an officer in Interpol as expert of cultural heritage protection. From the beginning, as I said, our task, our most important task is to recover stolen or illegally exported cultural items. This is our principal task. This is our work. And carrying out this kind of job, you can see in these slides the most relevant crimes that we are fighting every day are theft of course, the traffic of archaeological items illegally excavated and illegally exported from Italy, and art forgery and other kind of illicit trading. We are performing another kind of activity. We are monitoring on daily basis the archaeological site, and we are checking the art market, not only the shop, the art shop that we have in Italy on the ground with our unit, but as well the internet art market that now, from my point of view, is the largest art market that you can find around the world, legal and illegal. This is an example of monitoring with air, with drones. And sometimes, I'm not sure, but my colleagues are able to use the horses in some specific area that are not available by car. As well, we are monitoring the underwater archaeological areas, because for us it is important as well the other archaeological site on the ground. Other example of activity, training programs. We are performing training activity in favor of police forces or armed forces of other countries since 2002. We started in Kosovo, the Carabinieri started in Kosovo, and after in Iraq, after the Saddam fall. And the first course for the Iraqi police was carried out in Amman, out Iraq, because in Iraq in this time the situation is not very calm, quiet. Some example of the countries that ask us for training activity. You can see there are countries from every part of the world. Database, the official international database is, of course, the Interpol work of art database. And I think my friend Corrado knows that I think this way. Interpol database, from my point of view, has one only big problem, but it is not an Interpol problem. The problem is that every member countries must understand to collect information about our crimes at a local level, and after share all the information with Interpol. Interpol are not receiving information at the satisfaction level. This is the problem over there. But the international base already exists, is the Interpol database. But as Corrado said, there are around the world the national base. This is our database. Carabinieri, we have using this database since 1980, and we have this database information for more than 1,200,000 of stolen objects. And the second in the world national database, just to give you an idea, is the French database with only 110,000 of information. Interpol database has, I think, around 55,000 of information. But the problem is not the Interpol problem. Interpol gives us all the tools, the Interpol database, now the app. But if the countries, the member countries of Interpol don't understand that that sharing information is important as information, as the same information is a database is not enough to support us. In 52 years of activity, this is what my command done. We are able to recover more than 3 million of cultural items in Italy as well around the world. In this picture, you can see some masterpieces that we recovered in the past, from Raffaello to Picasso to other. Only last year, we recovered more than 500,000 of stolen items. And this is internet. You know, all we know that the internet today is the most important market, every kind of market you can find. On daily basis, my unit is checking the internet market, the website of auction houses, or the website of electronic market, like eBay or whatever. And we compare the image of the items that they are selling with the image that we have in our database. This picture you can see my guys that is checking part of the screen is dedicated to internet, and the other part to our database. So in the last year, we checked more than 34,000 of objects, and we started with the investigation to recover more than 12,000 of them. There is a statistic about the international art market, the legal art market. In last year, in 2020, it was estimated around $56 billion, but it decreased respect to the year before, that it was in 2019 more than 60 billions of dollars. But in the same time, the art market on internet increased very much. It had about 12 billions of dollars in 2020, respect 6 billions of dollars in the 2019. And this is a legal market, but we have to compare the legal market with the illegal market, because in every situation that there are money, so much money, criminal organizations are working, sure, are working. And now the Italian Task Force, Blue Helmets of a Culture, BHT, starting in 2015, UNESCO launched a campaign, Unite for Age, with which it wants to push on the light the situation that was happening in this period. If you remember, in 2015, all the media in the world showed us images about the destruction of cultural heritage in Syria and in Iraq. And UNESCO launched this campaign to underline this bad situation of cultural heritage. But as well, UNESCO suggested to all the member countries to create a task force, specialized task force, ready to intervene just in case the cultural heritage is in danger. And in 2016, there was this historical agreement between UNESCO and the Italian government, and the 16th of February, the Italian task force was officially introduced at international level. Our task force, I am one of the senior officers of this task force from the beginning. Our task force is composed by Carabinieri PC and by civilian aspect of our Ministry of Culture. I said, if you want to do something in this field, we cannot think, we Carabinieri, to be the excellence of the art of the archaeology. Not we are Carabinieri with our experience to recover the object, but the experts are the art experts, the archaeologists, the researchers. And so the task force under the umbrella of Italian Ministry of Culture is composed by the military soul, Carabinieri, the civilian soul, expert soul, the expert of the Ministry of Culture. Well, when we can operate. Of course, in Italy, we don't need any kind of international organization. It's enough that the Ministry of Culture and our commander say the order, and the task force will be on the ground. And in case of natural disaster, earthquakes or other kind of disaster. And outside of Italy, abroad, as well we can operate. And we operated in last period in Croatia, in Lebanon, in Mexico, in Albania. But outside Italy, we need an organization, and it can provide by or under upon UNESCO invitation, so we have the umbrella of the United Nations, or by bilateral agreement by states, like happened for the Lebanon, for the Croatia. As well, we can operate, and we are operating in the frame of peacekeeping mission and in the pre and post-conflict area, like Iraq. Our task force don't want to replace the local authorities because they are in charge for this. They are the master in their countries. But we want only to share our experience. We have 52 years of experience, my command, not I. But we want to share our experience and support them. How? Improving security measures to limit the risk of cultural heritage damage, and protecting, of course, recovering and putting security cultural items, and as well, it's very important to train the local police and army forces. This is what the task force can do on the ground. The first step for us is in 2016, after the establishment of our task force in August, we had in the center of Italy dramatic earthquakes. Hundreds and hundreds of people died. And after the first days, the terrible first days of the earthquakes, you can see some image now in this slide. It seems area under bomb attack. It's very, very terrible to see this situation. What we did, first of all, we carry out inspection of the cultural site, museum, but in this area, in Italy generally, but specifically in this area, the churches. You know, in Italy we have a lot of churches. Only Amatrice, that Amatrice was the village that was totally destroyed by earthquakes. Amatrice had 100 of churches around inside the area of Amatrice village. So first step, inspection, and now we can use the drone to see before to enter in the building. We can see before the situation of the cultural items inside the building, and after we pass, we try to recover the cultural items under the crashing buildings, and after to bring them in the storage, security storage. During the earthquakes, we recover more than 30,000 of items. You can see some scenes, some image here. Carabinieri PC increases area. Before the task force of the 2016, but before the Carabinieri was deployed, as well increased area. We started in 2002 in Kosovo, and after 2003 and 2006 in Iraq, in the frame of ancient Babylon operation. In this case, we had 2 officers of us that in Baghdad supported the functionary, the officer of the Iraqi National Archaeological Museum to check what was stolen in this museum. They had not no idea about what was stolen, but they have no idea that the information were and are important if we want to try to recover them. And our guys were able to gather information about 3,700 of items that were stolen from this museum. A part of them now we are recovering around the world. In Iraq again, since 2016 and 2020, I was here in the frame of the international cooperation against ISIS, in the frame of inherent operation. That it's a military operation. You know, the advantage for our ministry, for our authorities, is that they can deploy the Carabinieri, TPC, as military, as soldier, in the frame of a military mission, but as well they can deploy the Carabinieri TPC in a civilian mission, like we did in 2018 in Mexico after the earthquake, in 2020 January in Albania for the same reason, and in Beirut, I was in Beirut in October 2020 after the terrible explosion that they had in the Beirut port. And the last mission was in the January of this year in Croatia. I was in Croatia with my guys after the earthquake. What do we do in the civilian mission? We are talking about a fact-find mission. We take a look, we check the ground, the situation of archaeological site and art site, museum, archaeological site, and other. And we check the situation of the movable items, cultural items. And at the end, we carry out a report, assessment that we present to the local authorities. In this case, we are talking with we were talking with the Ministry of Culture of Croatia, and so they can have the situation, the real situation in their country from our point of view, and we should suggest them what they can ask to Italy, to the task force for the next mission, because the first mission is composed usually 3, 4, not more 5 peoples, because I said that it is a fact-find mission. But the second mission, according to what the countries need in this field, and we can put on the ground mission with much more people. This is a short clip about Lebanon, about Beirut, where it was in October 2020, and where I will be, and sure, it will be my pleasure and honor to cooperate with the Blue Shield, that I know that is very, very dedicated, it's working very hard in Lebanon, with agreement with UNIFIL and with the local armed force. This is what we found in October. You know, there is a part of Beirut, the Sursok zone, that has a lot of historical buildings. All of them are or destroyed or very damaged, and the situation is not so easy for the people of the Directory of Antiquities of the Lebanon. But we hope that with the support of all the international organizations, starting Blue Shield, our task force, UN, and other, they can try to solve the problem. This is what we in Lebanon, you know, he was explaining me how was the expression, the 2 explosion, and it's they were very terrible. Sorry. And this is 2 minutes of clip of our activity in Croatia. In Croatia, they had a terrible earthquakes. The last hit was in December of 2020, and we were especially in Petrinja. Petrinja is a little village 30 kilometers far from Zagabria. The village is totally damaged and died. I think that 8 or 10 people died in this earthquake. Here you can see the task force in action. Inside this church, the church was partially destroyed. There are 9 icons on table, and I asked, sorry, but why you don't take this and carry out these icons? During the night, everyone can go inside and try to steal them. Yes, but we are not able to operate this condition. And so for this specific church near Petrinja, we recover this kind of icons. I think that is my last slides. Again, thanks Peter, thanks Professor, thanks Emma, and see you in Lebanon.
Thank you, Luigi. Thank you very much indeed for that discussion of the work of the TPC. And please pass on my regards to General Riccardi for his presentation as well. That was very kind.
I will do, sure.
Thank you very much.